MRIs, useful up to a point. I've got a repetitive theme I want to talk about for a few minutes here, but first let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Lisa Ann Homick from Homick Advanced Chiropractic, and I am also the creator of the Brain First Protocol, because if you put the brain first, the body follows. And brain first is body freedom. So very often I have patients in my office who get an MRI, usually the brain and spine and depending on the situation, it's helpful for them or it brings on more anxiety. So here's some examples. I get folks who have normal MRIs, nothing out of the ordinary, unremarkable, so normal. Yet, here's what I'm dealing with. The person says, but I don't feel great. In fact, I feel awful. I am not functioning very well at all. How am I supposed to approach this MRI? And I have to say, the MRI is going to look at your tissues, the bones, the spinal cord, and the space between the bones and the spinal cord. We are looking for extreme deformation. Am I saying that right? Extreme deformity. That's what it's looking for. Physical deformity. However, it does not capture, not one bit, what your nervous system is going through, how your nervous system is functioning, how your nervous system is perceiving the environment and responding to the environment. Not at all on an MRI. So, is it useful or not useful? Another example. Some people have scary findings on their MRI. So scary that they're told, you may have a very debilitating disease that's never going to get better. In fact, it's going to continue to progress and you are going to decline. Now what do I do with that? I remember back to an interview Terry Walls made a few years ago. And if you know the Walls Protocol, if you know who Terry Walls is, she's a medical doctor who had multiple sclerosis. She deteriorated to the point where she was in a wheelchair, unable to work, and she reached a point where she said, well, I've done everything I'm supposed to do medically. I need to venture out on my own and try a different approach. And she did. She utilized nutrition specifically for her situation and incorporated whole foods, and long story short, recovered. She's back to bicycling, back to work. She's back to being active. She's participating in life again. But that's not supposed to happen. Or was it a fluke? Was she misdiagnosed? Well, that's the question, because in one of her interviews she mentioned that her follow-up MRI of her brain looked exactly the same. Exactly the same as when they diagnosed her with multiple sclerosis. Her explanation is that as she healed her brain with nutrients, she healed her body with nutrition, that other parts of the brain were able to take over. And so the MRIs look diseased. It didn't look promising at all, but yet here she is functioning. She's back to work. She's participating in life. She's doing research. She's writing books. She's spreading the word of her success. Because that MRI does not show how the nervous system is interacting with the world, how the nervous system is dealing with the stress of life. It does not show if the nervous system is overactive or underactive. That is pretty interesting. And do not assume that the brain has reached its max. Why should you? Don't underestimate what your nervous system and brain do for you. Don't underestimate. Don't give up. Look at the whole picture and look beyond what your eyes are telling you. So that's the message for today. Remember, if you put the brain first, the body will follow. And I teach how to do that with the Brain First protocol. And if you want a little peek of understanding it, this is my booklet. It's not a long read, so I call it a booklet. You don't have a disease, you have a nervous system. Stop lying, start living. This is on Amazon. It's also in my office. And this is a different way of looking at things. And I hope we're not stuck in the box and that we're willing to get out of the box. Especially if it's a box somebody else decided you need to be in. It's your decision. You don't have to stay stuck because somebody else told you that's how it's going to be. Hit the like, subscribe, and whatever else you do to spread the word, and look for the next video. Thanks for watching.